Hello everybody, my name is Bubblezest and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. In today's video we'll once again attempt an achievement run. Today we're attempting the achievement Freegypt, however you want to say it. We need to be as Egypt. So obviously we start off as the United Kingdom. That's because if we go into the My Territory screen and click Egypt, release nation, and we can play as them. But just before we do that, I just need to mention, you could sabotage the UK if you wanted to. You could put them down a changing course. You could put them down and revisit colonial policy, but I'm not going to do that because obviously I don't know how that would end up, because at that point you're at the mercy of the AI. And you could potentially build in Egypt, see if that works. I may as well add a few mills here. I don't know, maybe they'll show up, probably not. Alright, there's all the distractions out of the way, so let's release Egypt, release this puppet, and play as. And here we are, Egypt, puppet of the United Kingdom with the generic focus tree. Oh well, it has its perks. Right, I think we are going to need some civs as we only have, oh, what do you know, 2 civs right now. So I think for us, our main thing will be to focus on getting construction efforts and the armament efforts. So, industrial effort it is. For the civs we have, I think we can only realistically build extra mills. And wow, just 2 research slots? Well, that's rubbish. So let's focus on our industry and only our industry. That's pretty much it. Our main stay will just be building up and getting ready for war in 3 years' time. And slowly but surely increasing our autonomy when we can. But it's pretty much time already, so we're at speed 5. So, let's begin. And yeah, it looks like that little gambit of ours put in the UK to build factories in us wouldn't work. If we could somehow have tag switch between them, it might have worked, but obviously it doesn't seem like it has. Oh well, that was a massive gambit anyway. Right, there's the industrial effort, and I think we are going to do armament effort. We really do need to get our military industry going first. Civs are useful, obviously, but considering we have Italy on our borders, and the AI has a nasty tendency to abandon its borders, we definitely need to have guns coming out. Right, I've gone concentrated industry, especially with my boost. I think the more factory output will be more useful than disperse bonuses today. But to be fair, you could easily do both, and I don't think it made too much of a difference. And down goes Ethiopia. Right, let's continue down armament efforts. And around with our first mill, obviously only basic mill equipment. We're going to start training up an army, of course. Now, our division that we should probably go for is something like this. But obviously getting the guns for that would take a very long time. I mean, just one division will cost us 900. So what we're going to do is spam out a load of our cavalry templates and change them over once everything is ready. We can afford 23 at the moment, so max priority 111. And now that we have 150 political power, we're going to hire ourselves a military theorist. We should be changing around our templates and the like today. It's very useful for us. If Britain offers you Lend-Lease, which they're very likely to do, take it at your own risk, because obviously Lend-Lease given to you will decrease your autonomy. You shouldn't be able to decrease it by too much, considering how early in the game it is. But of course, every little point counts. What's funny about this HOI4 map that I realise is that the Halaib Triangle, which is officially owned by Egypt, is given to Sudan for this. Technically this little area here, right here, I believe is called Bir Tawil and is considered a terra nullius because neither Sudan nor Egypt claim it because the Halaib Triangle is more valuable as a region. But it's funny that HOI4 shows the administrative boundary, I believe. That's a funny one. Oh well, it doesn't matter too much. And here it is, our first cavalry. Look at that. Lovely. Alright, we'll just park them all on the border, and once we get the rest of them out, we'll change them over. Still got many years for that. Let's try and get some generals. Ironic, we start with a cavalry leader. Not going to have any cavalry, though. Any better rolls? Okay, we'll do one more. Oh, that's what you want, a brilliant strategist. You, good sir, are our field marshal. Definitely think starting with offensive doctrine will probably be better, and once he levels up, we'll give him aggressive assaulter. Of course, rolls of generals is completely random, so don't assume you're going to get a brilliant strategist on your third roll. You might get it on your first, or not at all. Now we have another political power, we're going to be switching up to free trade. As you can see here, we have no resources. So going up to free trade is literally just free output for us. There we go. Not much benefit, but you know, a benefit is a benefit. And there's no loss to us. Who knows, maybe someone will buy our oil. So here's an example. Britain wants to lend lease us some guns, 554. I'm just going to accept to show the point. As you can see here, it takes us down an autonomy of 2.77. Which isn't so bad, because eventually the continuous focus increased autonomy will unlock. So, I will take it for now. Eventually when we're at war, we can get lend leases from other countries, so eventually we'll get rid of Britain in that regard. Also, we've done construction effort, so we're going to make a brief detour to naval effort. Naval effort is very important, as it gives us free dockyards, and we can build more convoys with that. Convoys will be the main key for us for increasing our autonomy. The amount of autonomy points you get from convoys is honestly ridiculous. Obviously, once industry is done, do things like electronics, radio, mechanical computing, electronic mechanical engineering are your friends. Convoys are your friend for increasing autonomy. They give the most points, pretty much, unless you have an overwhelming amount of guns, which isn't guaranteed. Being able to have a lot of convoys, though, is a bit more likely, so keep that in mind. We also now have 15 XP, so let's create our ideal template for later. We'll make a 20 width with no engineers. Yes, eventually we're going to get artillery. So once this construction 2 is done, we research artillery. Really, the transfer of technologies is very weird, but well. Partial mode, now 2 civs, so let's buy ourselves a bit of steel. Don't need to spend convoys, so let's buy from Soviet Union. Just one for now, unfortunately. There we go, 19 guns a day isn't so bad. Next 150 political power is for limited conscription, and now we can finally change our army over to our ideal template. Here we don't have the manpower, equipment or anything, but we'll get them. Just train them up obviously, so they're at like level 2, level 3. And queue up artillery. Built. There we go. We only need 288, so 1 or 2 factories will do the trick. Now in mechanical computing, I'm going to start doing superior firepower. Once we do construction efforts, we're going to grab army efforts, so we can grab a boost for doctrine. Actually, we have 144 days, so we're going to instead do extra research slot, then army efforts, so a bit round. Obviously, the more research slots we have, the better. Basic focus tree gives free boost to doctrine, so we can make it pretty far down to integrated support. With our next 100 or so political power, I'm just going to grab improved working conditions. Always a good idea, especially when war is on the horizon, which it inevitably is. Also start upgrading your guns and weapons. If we do it right, via the focus tree there is a ×2 boost for weapons and infantry equipment. So if we do it right, we can grab weapons free very early, and doing so will allow us to export them to the UK to increase our autonomy ever more. So research a lot of stuff and grab the boost before researching weapons free, I'll say. Egypt, the inventor of the machine gun. That'll be an interesting timeline to say the least. Your next amount 150 political power, so it's pretty much at your door at this point. Egypt has some nice, okay political advisors, but you could also fill out your army command, which is actually quite good. Egypt has the ones you'd want, like army regrouping, logistics and infantry. Hell, they even have an organize expert. So, well, we're going to work on that for now. I'm going to start with the logistics guy, because, well, logistics is logistics, isn't it? Could go for the war industrialist, but also you have deterrence in the focus tree, which is just as good. We're eventually going to go for deterrence, by the way. Don't worry, neutrality focus gets removed by us being at war, which we definitely will be. But for now, doctrine effort, doctrine effort, doctrine effort. Once our deficit is done, we'll switch around to guns 1. Obviously, usually I prefer to spam those out. But of course, with our deficit as bad as it is, spamming out the worst guns is pretty much our only choice. Same with the artillery, actually. Of course, if you want to grab things like interwar artillery, that's not a bad idea. You may as well grab things like naval transport ships. You may be able to invade things like Sicily or the Dodecanese. It increases your war score, so why not? Obviously, the amount of fun you'll have in this game definitely depends on how good or badly the Africa campaign goes. If it's completely shut down early, you might just be sitting around. But you know, we kind of have to deal with that and adapt to it, which we definitely will be able to do. Eventually, we'll probably start working with a slightly more advanced template. Similar to many of our invasions of Britain, it will be a semi-H1, but actually 21 width, so we'll have that in reserve for later. We'll change a few divisions around once we have the artillery for it. We'll also give us special icon. Brown. Why not? Oh, we have a small excess of artillery now, actually, so let's change around 4 of you to this template. There we go. Here we don't have the artillery, but we'll get it in time. Right, there's all the equipment efforts I care for, so let's go down to deterrence. Obviously, you could change ideology. That would potentially be more useful. Communist or fascist would be more useful. I mean, at least you got political correctness and commissars and militarism in this one. I'm going to stay democratic. Could be more interesting, to be honest. Of course, as well, you could always try and break free from Britain cheekily, but that wouldn't give you the achievement. We need to go up to Dominion, Colony, and all of that. That's how the achievement will work. Right, Danziger War is on its way, so... Even then, our war won't begin until Italy's in the war, so we still got many bits of time. Most likely, we only lost 13.28 bits of autonomy. We can gain that back pretty much any time. We're going to go all the way down to technology sharing if we can get it. Obviously, more research slots the better for us. Taking things in war increases our war score, and of course increases our autonomy. As you can see there, subject contributing war score will increase our autonomy. That's what we need to do. Our game will be shutting down Libya and Italian East Africa. And once Turkey eventually joins the war, we'll keep an eye on them to see if they don't get rushed down. Try and save them if we can, but if not, we'll make a defensive line somewhere else. Right, now we can use our 2-year boost for guns free. We'll get it pretty much by the end of the year. Nice. Of course, to export them, we need an excess of them, which might not be possible, but I'd rather have the ability to do so. And also, there's Danziger War, will be called in pretty much any second now. There we go, we've been called in, not by our own choice. We'll try and raise our stability to be above 50%, because we need, obviously, more than 50%. Otherwise, we'll get strikes and the like. I'm waiting for improved working conditions to come back. That's what I'm waiting on. Well, Italy's finally in, so here's our time. Our thing will be to try and encircle these tanks and everything and help them take Libya, and then, of course, East Africa. Try and ask control if you can get it, or if you already have it, deal with that. There'll probably be a lot of cuts, because obviously showing things like this can be interesting, but it can also just elongate the video and be kind of boring. So we'll just see how this turns out. Italy will have a tendency to naval invade you, quite probably. So keep that in mind, you might need to run back to Cairo. Try and get control of states as you can, because obviously the more states you control, the more potential factories you get, like Tripoli. Oh, well, at least you get some more manpower, essentially. That's why I hired the Prince of Terror. And you may as well make good use of local autonomy. Make the cavalry your garrison template is just a sensible idea. Right now, we prepare for the East African campaign, which is going to be so much better. And by better, I mean worse. You may as well get ready for Lend-Lease scumming, gun scumming, because it's going to be basically your only way to win today. Can't believe France has lasted this long, but they're clearly on their way out. Well, France finally fell. That took them an age, didn't it? Now we wait for Vichy to get involved, which will be a few years away, but that'll be the next part of the African campaign if we manage to clean this up in time. Oh, you want to do reinforced memes? And I will do reinforced memes. Oh, my word. That is an encirclement by the Germans. Well, we've cleaned up Africa, so now is clearly the logical time to invade Corsica and Sardinia. The more islands we control, the better. If we get control of them, that means more factories for us. I'm avoiding the Lend-Lease for now. I'm going to try and do it as late as possible. Germany's about to do Barb, which is good, but Greece is currently, well, being greased. Well, we are just, well, bored. Freegypt is as fun as you want it to be honest. If you were more invested into tanks, maybe you could have more fun. But, in many cases, it's just an infantry slog. Have as much fun as you can, though. Surprised Italy didn't naval invade us, but oh well. Right, that is one big naval invasion out of Libya. Let's doubt it will work, but we'll see. If you can, try and get control of like Somaliland and Ethiopia so you can use their factory. Fortunately, Britain is being very stubborn right now. France is too, because Charles de Gaulle is Charles de Gaulle. Oh. Speaking of things, finally there's a naval invasion of us. Right, we'll prepare our invasion of Palermo. It will only happen when Barb happens, so Germany's at her most distracted. I feel like this is going to be a very short European war, or it's going to drag out all the way until 1948 or something. No in between, though. Somehow in my practice game when I did this, France managed to flip communist. Don't know how they managed to pull that one off. Don't think they'll be able to do it again, but you know, Hearts of Iron 4. Hearts of Iron 4. Yugoslavia is just going down, down, down. Right, we're starting to build guns. Free now, just so we can get more out. America will be in the war in 70 days. Good. Good, 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 good. The only way Lend-Lease can work properly for us is if our guns are newer, and that will increase our autonomy. So if we sent the UK all of our guns one, it wouldn't work. See there? Doesn't do anything. I'm going to cancel that Lend-Lease because I still probably will need those guns to be. So though we're very close to getting colony, and then we have to do it all over again from the 1000 up. That's why I'm saving convoys. I really only want to use it for the final Dominion status. Worst case scenario, we can join the war with Japan, our units, and help there for more. Oh, we're going to take Palermo. Nice. Yeah, there's no irony lost on us that the only one able to defend Sicily now is the Germans. Somehow had an excess of this gun, it would actually give us autonomy. So you know what, we're going to send production worth 99% of our production sent to Britain. It also means we're going to have to rely a lot more on Lend-Lease, but that's okay. That's okay. Simple way to do that, start training up a load of units. There we go, we now have a deficit. How big is it? Oh wait, we need to unpause properly for it to load properly. There we go, 8,000. Go to Turkey and Iran, who we've improved with. Ask for guns. And there you go, there's 12,000. So our autonomy is going up slightly. It looks like with every delivery we're getting 19 autonomy points. Which is not bad, I suppose. Our Lend-Lease has allowed us to gain 13, so we got back what we lost earlier. Oh, those poor units getting completely beamed on. Oh, and naval invasions have finally left, so... Well, it's all or nothing now. All or nothing. Damn it, we're so close. Looking out Italy. Do this. Not if Toronto falls, but, you know, points the same. Oh, and Venice gets lost. Oh well, we can now become a colony. I guess that's something. Our autonomy is coming on very well, mostly due to our Lend-Lease now. But everything else adds up, as you can see there. So, you know, can't complain. Hopefully. And Vichy's now in the war, so that now means I've got to go and deal with them. Oh well, more war score fast then, I suppose. Hopefully the Allies can take down Italy, probably not. Soviets and Germans are death warring. Hopefully the Soviets don't burn themselves out. And the naval invasion sound is in my nightmares. Pretty much halfway through colony though, and then it's Dominion. Very good. That helps us get to where we need. Britain is doing Operation Fortitude, or the invasion of French North Africa. Look, I might have studied history, doesn't mean I remember every operation's name. And if they take that last port, that will mean we have locked out Vichy from North Africa, which they just have done. Very good. All the units here, if they weren't AI controlled, will now attrition and die. Keep an eye on nationalist Spain as well, they might join the Axis once recovering from civil war goes away. There we go, finally Italy falls. That'll definitely change this war. First major to fall, and it looks like Vichy is next. The US is taking colonies. The US has colonised Chad. There's irony in that. How can we get control of Chad? Yes. There we go, we now have Egyptian Chad. What's the damage? The standard peace deal? The standard peace deal. China's a major though, isn't it? Great. And India is falling. Right, now we're a colony. We need Dominion, and now we need to save political power to get free. 200 days away now. Pretty much stop our Lend-Lease to the UK with our guns, as our convoys will pretty much cover it. Case in point, there you go. But considering convoys are useful, I'll keep it going until you're ready. UK's finally doing Protect Suez, so may as well just wait that little bit longer so we can get those benefits. Soviets are at the gates of Berlin soon enough. Right there. Almost at the Oder at least, I think. Danzig has not fallen. This is still relatively a quick end to this. Usually it's a lot slower. So I can't necessarily complain. Hopefully once it all falls, the Allies can finally start killing Japan. By the way, from Turkey doing join the Allies, they will eventually steal your territory because they have the Petra proposal, which gives them Sinai. Really annoying, there is no way to refuse this. Turkey will steal your territory. Right, it's time. 1st of June 1943, and Egypt will be free. There we go. And now, no longer the UK's puppet. We have gone from a puppet to a colony to a dominion. Now, we are just the Republic of Egypt. Funnily enough, Farouk Muhammad Ali has a unique portrait if you somehow manage to get non-aligned as Egypt. Maybe check that out. So are we a republic or not? Wait. Maybe, maybe not. Because Farouk is still around. Oh well. Okay, the end of the war seems so soon. I actually want to see. Right, we're now at the gates of Berlin. Oh, for goodness sake. It's a goddamn final twist to the puzzle. Nationalist Spain out of nowhere. You ever seen like those wrestling things where someone comes back from the dead? This is basically what it is. It's a Wing to Sard moment. Come on, let's finish up before Franco does. Berlin has broken. The Egyptians will be the ones to enter the city. And we're in, but looks like the Soviets are the ones to do it. But that's still the end of the war, thank goodness. Fall of Berlin. And as I said, I get nothing. Well, this makes perfect sense, doesn't it? This war's gone completely off the rails now. And here's the peace deal. Oh, let's see what the factions look like. France got this completely taken out of them. Seriously, why is Occitania a tag? It's ridiculous. It shouldn't. France didn't lose everything in the war. Anyway, the factions now look like this. Franco, despite his wrestling style last minute comeback, did not start during the war, so he'll be on his own. In fact, we could justify on him if we must, if we wanted to. But who cares? Bulgaria actually got puppeted by the Allies, and just enough, Greece got away with it. Metaxas has come back from the dead. Kurdistan exists in one state in Syria, because of course it does. And now, yeah, Japan is still a massive threat, but I cannot be bothered to go and see them down. I mean, look at what they take. Unless the Soviets somehow come in, which I haven't seen them do, I don't think we'll be having a, well, peace in the East anytime soon. And like I said, eventually Turkey will steal some of your territory via the Petrov proposal, so it's all going to go terribly. Oh well, at least now we have Germany, Germany, and Germany. Alright. This took a few hours or so. Freegypt is one of those campaign-style achievements where you have to go from one end to the other. This has taken, I think, around 3 hours to do, but oh well. I thank you for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed it. Leave any suggestions in the comments below for future video ideas. Always open for new suggestions. I've been considered doing some mods at some point in the future. If there's any HOI4 mods you'd like me to check out, maybe comment those. I know there's many popular ones, and I do have some in mind, but until next time, everybody, it has been me, Bubble Zest, and goodbye.